Okay. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the disconnect of the Zoom, and thank you all for logging back in promptly. So I put QHHT here, which is the quantum healing hypnosis technique. We all know quantum field. Quantum field means the space that holds everything and every information, every intelligence, everything that is needed for this whole universe to stick together, function together, all the information, everything. I'll request all of you to please mute yourself. Everything is there. So that's why we call the quantum field. And when we tap into the quantum field, we can, yeah, okay, we get our answers, healing, directions, whatever that we're looking for in our space. Everything happens from this field because this kind of coordination is happening, and of course we know it's all the chemicals, electrons, protons, neutrons, whatever. It's all there everywhere, and our body also holds something of it. They start interacting with each other, and that is how we all exist in this space. So a lot of people have not heard about quantum healing and all this stuff, but that's the essence of this entire existence. Okay, so how did QHHT come into my space? I know all of you sitting here are, I don't know if there is anyone here who is logged in because someone has referred. I'll connect with them later, but all of them have been in my space either for a healing or for a reading, or to understand what it is. Some of you have connected with me, and a lot of questions were coming in terms of how is this happening, what is happening, a lot of questions. And I really, it was too hard to type each and every one of it, and every clarification written or said creates another question. So I thought I'll have this session so that I can explain it to you. And I have a lot of my students here. So now whoever is here to understand QHHT as a therapy, I will first address them. All of you who are here, who is wanting to understand the learning part to become a practitioner, please hold all your questions to the last, because if you mix between understanding the process of healing and trying to understand the process of learning, it will confuse the people who are here who's trying to understand the process of healing. So all the students who are wanting to learn, after going through the process, wanting to learn and want to take it as a part of your journey forward, please hold your questions to the last so that we will not confuse the others in the group. Okay, clear? Okay, so basically, what are we looking for when we say we are looking for healing? Or let me go to the next one. See, for example, I've just put a picture here. I randomly, in about 2 hours, I've just put this presentation so that I can explain it to you. So when you see it, so because some people listen, some people need to see it, some people need to understand both of it together. They need to see it and hear it, only then the entire picture. So the visual, auditory and kinesthetic, all of it needs to come together for some people to get an exact picture of what it is. That's why I quickly put this together in about 2 hours time, day before yesterday. So imagine if you are all here, if all of you are here, it is because there is something that you're looking for. There is something in your space, whether it is health, whether it is relationship, or whether it is money part of it, or anything that is in your space. You have no clue. Like I talk about Akashic, there is a pattern in your space, there is a challenge in your space, and no matter how hard you work, like for example here I've just put a picture of this lady. Imagine this is you. I have a problem. I really don't know what to do, and I'm seeking help. So the first thing that we do is we look for immediate help. Is if it is health, we go to a doctor. If it's counseling, or I mean, if it's anything else, if it is relationship, if it is money, we took some kind of a guidance or a counseling or a coaching, or connect with somebody, call 10 people. I have this trouble. What do I do? So that is our first basic instinct, to look for an external help, and we connect with them. And what happens for some people, it heals. So it's a very temporary thing. I will not go into karma to see how, tell you how it works, but it's a very temporary thing. They get healed, they become better, and they go forward, or they find their solution. Those people are not even thinking, if you go and see people who are really rich, very self-sufficient, everything is fine. They're not thinking beyond anything but live through that life and enjoy their life. They are like, when they see some trouble or something, it's like, why are they having it? That relatability is not there for them, because they are in that space of joy, or contentment, or whatever. But what happens is, there are a lot of people who has everything, but they're not able to fix anything. So they also fall into this category. There are people who don't have anything, but they also are very content. They're also pretty fine. If you go to the people who are in labor class and all, they earn today, whatever, their health, well, they just manage it differently. But the majority of them, they have what they want, or they might not have what they want. So that becomes their issue in their life. And no matter what help they seek from outside, it either temporarily gets solved, or if it gets solved, they get out of this space. They don't look for further help. So when, after repeated efforts of solving it or clearing it, what do? They start looking for alternatives. That is when they start, looking for a healer, going to a temple. They look at their astrological chart, they go for a tarot reading, they try to look at numerology. Because I have done it at some point in time. I am not an astrological person and all this stuff, my husband is. So whenever we had trouble, we started looking at astrology or numerology, or all this stuff. That's where akashic also came. Akashic is something which is a little more known than QHHT. They also know hypnosis. I forgot to put the word hypnotherapy here. Hypnotherapy is another way. Even before akashic, hypnotherapy was another modality that was there, to which people thought, I need to understand what is it causing so much of problem in my space. So what they did, they took seeked help. So they go to a healer, get a healing done. Astrology, they say, go to this temple, that temple, do this, and it'll feel better. So all these different things they go ahead and do. So astrologist says do this, or numerologist say. Despite that, there are things that does not disappear from their space or heal. They still hold that problem. Now all of this that we have from the time we are born till now is very karmic. Somebody's mic is on. Can you all please switch off your mic? Okay. um it is very karmic. Now this is a question I used to ask: why am I going through this difficulty? If you let me know, then I'm not equipped to go through this. But that is a memory that does not come to the surface. It's a deep subconscious level, but it does not come to the conscious level for us to relate it and say, okay, this is what I did, so that this is what I need to clear. So that knowledge is not there. That comes from a hypnotherapeutic session, where the hypnotherapists take you on a journey to tap into your subconscious mind, to bring to the surface some things that can heal. Now the next is the akashic record reading. Okay, akashic record reading came into the space as a modality, is because people who are able to tap into an energy, or even when they're walking, talking, doing something, there are images that is popping into their head, which is giving them a reason for why something is going wrong in that space. But our conscious mind is the most beautiful monkey that we have. It always negates what comes into that space, isn't it? So we don't really relate to it. So even when hypnotherapy happens, there are a lot of people who go through the session, including me. I've gone through multiple hypnotherapy sessions because I was asking a lot of questions. When you come back after that, you're still doubting. now, recently, also, I met somebody at a conference who is a very well known astrologer, but he says, I went through the hypnotherapy session, but I felt it was all me making up whatever is coming into that space. So, all that confusion will be held in your space. Is it me imagining this is what it is, or whatever? Now, for example, if I tell you all a jackfruit, you have seen a jackfruit. That is why the minute I say jackfruit, you can remember a jackfruit. Imagine if you've never seen a jackfruit, and if I say jackfruit, nothing comes into your head, isn't it? That is how your subconscious holds the memory. Now ask a question: if something is popping in, which definitively means it is there in your subconscious, you're not creating it. It just pops in, but our conscious mind usually negates that process of bringing something to the surface. And even though after some of the sessions or one session or two session, the doubt keeps your result a little away from reality. That is what hypnotherapy. Now, when you come to Akashic, what happens? You come to me because I'm an Akashic record reader. Here, what happens? You come to me and your conscious mind is not connected to me. And my conscious mind has absolutely nothing to do with you. So, what happens when I connect to the divine energy? Whatever comes into this space is an absolute reality for you because someone else is speaking to you this and you are getting to hear it, which you have not spoken to me. Then you see the reality of what I am telling you, and then you know things start shifting in your space. So that is where the Akashic record reading is. Now, to explain QHHT, which Mother Dolores brought to all the people, is how do you connect to your own self, your higher self. Somewhere the whole process takes you on a journey to center yourself, bring yourself, center yourself, and you are somewhere preparing yourself to a session which is beyond the hypnotherapy process and Akashic, which is done by somebody else. But I need to tell all of us are connected to our higher self. It's just that the kind of garbage that we have accumulated over a period of our multiple lives and hundreds and thousands of lifetime, that connection is kind of blocked because whatever we hold as a reality in our subconscious mind, it is like a garbage bin that we have carried all through our lifetimes and we are holding it. Now, if you come to a session, hypnotherapy session, what happens? This garbage is still there in your space. So that is how your conscious mind is negating some of the information that comes into your space, or some of them accept it or sees it and realizes it when they start sensing it in their physical space. Things are shifting. They understand that I've gone through the experience of touching my higher self. But in QHHT, what they do is there is a little bit of difference when you come to just single sessions, but we'll not talk about it right now because you're here as to why I have bought Jitendra ji's entire module here, because he is a person who learned from the academy, from Mother Dolores, the academy. Now she is her guide and he has done a lot of work. Here what is being done is like, first prepare yourself where this garbage bin that is there over a period of 21 days, whatever shift that we are trying to, that becomes a part of our personality. So somewhere when you do this 21 days process of connecting with your wanting to connect with your higher self, will clear a lot of things in your space. And from there, that realization will happen. Okay, there is a shift, I'm able to connect. And after that, when you start getting into session, you are going to go through this feeling of, what do you say, joy or whatever. Otherwise, like all of us, I've disconnected God. We think he's a higher being who is there, and all I can do is pray and connect with him and seek, or whatever. And then it comes at the time when it needs to come, which is called the eligibility. But now when you come into an Akashic space, wanting to get an Akashic record reading done or wanting to get into a QHT done, now here is a choice your free will is making. But when you make a free will, choice using your free will, it is with a clarity that, yes, I want to shift my space. I'm not talking about learning. It's all about healing. Because if QHHT was in my place 15 years ago, I would have definitely opted it because there were so many things in my space I wanted to clear at that point in time. That direct connect, of course, I had it, but I'm just telling you, direct connect or messages that is coming, we don't know how to process it. Okay. So now when you go through this process, what happens is you will get connected to your higher self. Now your higher self is holding the same intelligence as the divine itself. It's same as the divine consciousness. There is no difference between your higher self and the divine consciousness. This is where the realization also happens. Like, I am that I am, that we keep saying, I am that I am. The divine is me itself. But the garbage that I'm holding in between is not allowing me to connect with the higher self. So what happens when you want to get into this process? Okay, here I've said the same thing, the different kind of health that you're talking about. So we are looking at higher consciousness. So when you connect with the higher consciousness, what happens? that starts guiding you beautifully. What you need to know, what are your answers, why am I having this thing in our space, and what will it do. Now when you connect yourself with your higher self, the healing also happens, because every realization. Now imagine you are you're a person, you're traveling, and we all know Swachh Bharat, we are not supposed to drop somewhere things. But knowingly or unknowingly, every once in a while, we say, oh, I don't want to carry this. And the first given opportunity, whether there is a bin or not, no bin, we might throw it out. But imagine someone comes and catches you and says, pay 100 rupees fine for dropping it here. After that, you will never drop it, isn't it? Because you've learned a lesson. You'll say, no, 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 I don't want to pay my 100 rupees. Let me keep it, and I'll find a proper dustbin and I'll put it there. So there is a learning or a realization or a shift that happens, like, hey, I don't want to do this again. So this learning, this transformation of what you're holding in your space, what is right, what is right for me, or even if this is right for me, is there a next level of taking this rightness? This becomes a part of my righteousness. I become that. Instead of bringing this in, I become that. So when you connect with your higher self, you become aligned to your higher self. Then there is a constant healing happens, and then there is a learning happening, there is a progression. There is this map of consciousness from from 0 to 7. That's seventh dimension or 7 we talk about. Of course there is a lot of dimensions beyond that to progress. That by the time we come to 7, we are like a divine beings. So that progression starts happening, where you become so aware of yourself. In the process, what happens? Healing is happening. Now if I have a spondylitis, why am I having a spondylitis? That is because my throat chakra is hampered. And now spondylitis is also associated with lack of expression. What is happening in your space? I'm not able to express myself, and I'm holding back myself so tightly that even if it comes, it is standing right there, and you are like, no, no, I don't want to. So that when that suppression over a period of time happens, your throat chakra has gone for a toss, you have a spondylitis. Now you go to the doctors for spondylitis treatment. He gives you medicine, physiotherapy, and everything. And then you come back home. After 1 month, your spondylitis back in its space, or probably for a little longer, or probably for a short period. And then the spondylitis come back. But here, nobody is giving you the intelligence that it is because you're suppressing all your expressions without telling, and you're just suppressing it. That is why your spondylitis happened. That knowledge is not coming into your space. Now what happens when you start aligning with your higher consciousness? You learn how to start expressing. And the minute that realization of how to start expressing myself, your spondylitis will heal. Then again, this can also be a past life karmic thing you're carrying from multiple. If I am holding an personality of not wanting to express, something must have happened in my present life or my past lifetimes, where I've brought in this quality or this personality of mine which I'm holding. So today, whatever illnesses that we hold in our space is a part of our conditioning, whether it is this life or past life. So that is why doctors or therapists or healers sometimes can't heal you, because there need to be something that needed to be released from your space. And that release happens when we start progressing from here. There is this consciousness map we start shifting. I don't think guilt is a nice feeling I'm holding. Now, then I start working on why am I feeling guilty? Okay. Then if I understand that, when you release guilt, you will see that you don't feel guilt anymore. But the tools to understand that in the physical spaces, by taking self-help or counseling, or attending a training, or attending some kind of spiritual discourse where you start working on your own self. But when you start connecting with your higher consciousness, and when the healing starts happening, and when this transformation start happening, whatever you hold as your blockage, even in your physical space, a behavior of feeling guilty all the time, even that starts releasing, where without your own knowledge, there's a lot of things shifting at your energy space. Okay.
न्यू पहनना कोई जो तू लाई थी बैंड्रा से.
Okay. Mute yourself.
Very
Anushka.
nice.
Anushka, can you please mute yourself?
Sorry.
Okay. So this is what happens. in this. Now, I've also given, insight into Akashic. What is the difference between Akashic, hypnotherapy, and QHHT, so that you will not mix all of it and get confused with it. Now, when I say Akashic record reading, other person, like I do the reading for you. What am I doing? I am connecting into your soul space or to the memories that you are holding in your subconscious mind. I access that and I give it to you. Here, because you are not a part of it, you are a spectator, you're getting to listen, you are able to process it. Again, you're processing it with your conscious mind. You should understand that. So the do's and don'ts can immediately set in, like, no, 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 no. Even though this is happening, even though you can connect with what is coming into your space, you can be in denial mode or acceptance mode. Based on that, there will be shifts in the place. Like, there's so many Akashic reading I have done with just one reading. With one reading, I met somebody yesterday, who was like almost, yesterday, no, the other day, who was almost ready to divorce her husband. But today she is not divorced. She says, I can see the shift in my husband because this is the way I have shifted my thoughts after getting a reading done. And she's done nothing. She's just got an Akashic reading done. And by accessing that space, realization happened, the energy shifted, things in her space started this thing. So here, I just give you this, or the Akashic practitioners who are in my space, this is what they do. And what happens is, like, when the shift happens, the healing automatically start happening. The minute healing starts happening, there is a shift in your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual spaces. Okay. Here, in one session, you will access one or two aspects of it. Here, the whole responsibility of healing lies on the person, their acceptance or denial of what is coming into my space. Based on simply that fact, whether how they listen to it, their healing can happen, healing might not happen. I have a few, they are not able to heal themselves. Okay, they are not able to heal themselves. So the Akashic record reading is actually a little difficult as compared to QHHT, where the responsibility lies on the client also and the moderator to take on the journey. But Akashic is slightly easier. But the healing part of it, I'm just telling you this, the healing part of it is the responsibility of it solely lies on the person who is listening and going. Here, because their conscious mind is so active, it can work either ways. Now, let's come to hypnosis. Hypnotherapy is again a moderator is taking you into a session, and that person will help you access your subconscious mind and the memory that it is holding. Am I recording this? Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so the hypnotherapist helps you go into your subconscious mind to help you access those information which you have stored from multiple lifetimes. Maybe from the present lifetimes also it can come up, or a lot of it can come up from the past lifetimes also. It also depends on your requirement that you have placed with the therapist, and based on that they are working on what is it that you need to ask. Because when I went through this, I asked one question, but that question did not, after 5 sessions, I did not get an answer to that question, but I got a lot of not related, but other aspects of my life came in through those sessions. But I still asked her, why is my question still not answered? So what she did was, she said, Vijay, maybe this one question, the question that you're asking, the lifetime that is there can be too ugly, too painful, or something that your present conscious mind can't process it, because of which that is why it did not come up in the session. So what we can do is, you are asking this question in relation to one or two people. Let us try healing it. So she took me into an hypnosis process, and she had her own tools through which she asked me to connect with this person and do a forgiveness prayer and release. Okay, I think there was a shift, but since my question was not answered, that process was incomplete. So that question still remained in my mind. Like, I still want to know this one answer to the question. I'm very happy with all the multiple session I had with my hypnotherapist. I have a lot of awareness is who is who in my space or why are they in my space. I happen to see 2 or 3 of my past lifetimes. I was very happy with all of it, but one of my question did because I was holding a very strong mental block towards that question. There was a lot of anger, frustration, hate, everything that I was holding in that space did not allow me to access that particular lifetime. Then after that, I said, okay, I don't want to go for any more sessions. So I had a few of my friends who are hypnotherapists and they're doing good and they are in this process. So I get to talk, we get to hear a lot of these cases that comes, and we know how some healing happens, some healing doesn't happen, is because how we feel when we come out. Now the conscious mind is very judgmental. This is where I'm talking about the garbages that I hold. Like I hold a lot of hate for this person, and I'm doing an access to why I hate this person a lot, or why is this. When I say hate, I'm more on a victim mode all the time. So why is he doing this to me? And if I can't see my own self doing this to somebody else, I don't get to see it. So this is one limitations I have seen with my own self and with few others, because I have a couple of them who do it. I have a couple of them who have gone through the process, and some of them who just couldn't. Their logical mind is so awake that they couldn't connect with whatever came up, because the logical mind just nullifies everything. So with an hypnotherapist, this is what you do. You try to access and what is the process? They will put you into a trance state, get you into the trance state and all this stuff. If you connect with whatever coming in, you're able to, you go through it. There is again the same akashic space I'm bringing here. There's a realization, oh, now I know why I have this. Healing starts happening. Okay, so that is the hypnosis part of it. And we have somebody who's here along with us here, who's been doing it, Sundar sir. At the end of it, I'll ask him to speak a little, because he's been a hypnotherapist for a long time. Thank you, sir, for being here. Okay, yes. Now when we come to QHHT, here we still need a practitioner to moderate this whole process for you. And here, like I said, you will go through a preparation to get your soul and your conscious mind and your subconscious mind and your body to align on in one straight line. Don't think of a literal line. I'm just saying, we all align. And here, what happens is, like, typical hypnotherapy session, some of them go into trance or go beyond. There are a lot of people, they're going through this conscious mind and things like that. You will be able to not let the conscious or subconscious mind intervene between your connection with your higher consciousness. So what happens, there is a communication where your higher consciousness comes and say, Vijay, this is what it is. Like, for example, I had my session with Jitendra sir, and I understood. I think I'll share this. I have been diabetic for almost 14 years now, and I never let it bother me. I took a minimum medication and I just went on with life. It never bothered me. But yeah, I know ever since I got into the energy space, that's something that I realized. And ever since I got into Akashic record reading and all this stuff, my sugar levels remained high all the time. My doctors have tried multiple medication, but it remained high. It doesn't bother me in any way. I am up. I don't have any of the side effects of diabetes, but it always remains high. And my doctor is tired. He has tried umpteen number of combinations and all this stuff. He said, go on insulin. I said, no, I will heal my diabetes. So when I took my session with Jitendra sir, I asked him, the first thing is, like, after I got into the energy work, why is it so bad? Why it got triggered off, when it got triggered off, all that had a karmic reason also. I know that what was the karmic reason. I've accessed my own records. I've gone and I've seen, I've understood in my present lifetime what is it that I went through at that point in time, which triggered off this frustration or anger, and which triggered off my diabetes. So for me, like, I have a complete insight into from where it started, where it is this lifetime, where it started, where is it. I know everything. But when I started energy healing, I didn't know why it got triggered off, and at no point it was coming down. And everything I've done, everything possible under the sky. And then I can heal everybody, I can do everything. But this one thing about me, I couldn't. But when I did the session with Jiten sir, it showed me my spiritual lifetime where I'm supposed to be healing, where I took a lifetime to come give people, heal people, give unconditionally. Something what people did to me got me so angry that I shut myself off into a cave. And that lifetime, instead of acceptance, that dissatisfaction or frustration that I held, that people didn't understand why I'm here, that emotion is still lying in my pancreas. Okay. And you won't believe, from 2 days after that, I've been monitoring my sugar. It has almost come down to half. And I've not done any change. I'm not done any change. It's just come to half, is because that realization of which lifetime I carried that emotion. And this lifetime, almost exactly the same reason triggered off. That memory was triggered off, and my diabetes was full blown. And that also, like, I had attitude was great. I would just go out and do anything. But the minute I got into energy healing, this one blockage I created for myself in that lifetime needed to be cleared. So my higher conscious came and showed me why exactly I hold this, you know, emotion in my pancreas. And when that done, 2 days I forgot my medicine also. It was still below normal. I mean, not according to the scale, but compared to what I was, it is 50% it came down. And I was like, can you believe that? Is what I was like thinking. So, this is what happens when you start aligning yourself to your higher consciousness. They start coming into your space and they start healing you, not just this present life health issues. What is attached with this health issues, present life money issues, not just attached to this present life. It has a lot of other things in your cupboard. Your closet is like overflowing, but we are wanting to go through a journey of contentment in this lifetime. It doesn't happen unless we clear all of it. So this is something that Mother Dolores and QHHT has. QHHT says that only connecting with your higher self. Okay, so this is the process of staying aligned all the time. Feel the transformation, heal yourself. Now this is again split. I mean, some of you are, I mean, half of you are here to understand it as a learning. The other half is to try and understand the process to heal themselves. Okay. Now, what are the process in a Akashic record, in a hypnosis session, and in a QHHT? The process is the same. We connect, we talk. There is a counseling briefing of a life history that we take, identify what are the areas in which that we need changes. And then after identifying based on what you need to be, you plan a session. And after you plan a session, we tap into your soul space, or Akashic reader will connect with your soul space. A hypnotherapist will make you connect into your subconscious or your soul space. And in QHHT, it is a process of same connecting with your subconscious. Now, I mean, bypassing your subconscious and connecting with your higher self, and get the divine direction on how to heal your whatever issues that you have in your space. Okay, so this is the process. I will, before I talk about the QHHT process itself, till here, if any of you have any questions, you ask me, and then we will go into the actual process. I mean, till here. Okay, I'll do one thing. What happens, like I said at the beginning, QHHT process is first, is like I said, preparing yourself for 21 days of aligning yourself, bringing your consciousness, centering yourself, and with doing the breathing technique that they give, you are clearing a lot of your ideas, thoughts, whatever mental blocks you have in that bin in your head. All that starts clearing, and by the time you finish this 21 days, there's a personality change. I'm not going into that, how 21 days or 48 days or 90 days or whatever. When you do something, how your entire personality changes from who you are to who you want to be. So that process will start happening. And once the same counseling briefing session, life history, charting, and all this stuff will happen. And from Then there are about 5 to 7 sessions, depending on how your entire briefing sessions, taking history, everything goes. Then the sessions will start. And from each session, it will become very specific. And then your higher consciousness will decide, based on how you've transformed it, what needs to be addressed. They will start coming and they'll start healing you one by one by one, And then what happens, by the time you finish this whole process, you will see whatever you're holding in your space will disappear. Again, note, okay, it also depends on how you unconditionally, with faith, give into this energy and take it. Here also, if I am very conditioned to use my logical brain, question, answer, it takes that much more longer. Okay, because I know my first session with Jitendra, when I planned, I was like thinking, I'm an Akashic record reader, and I will be able to do this, that confidence. And then I'm like thinking, okay, in this session, when I'm going to have it with him, I think I'm going to ask this, this is what I want to work on. See, I mean, the confidence that I had that, QHHT will happen so easily for me. But when I tried doing, you won't believe. I'm talking like this, my mic works, but every time I lie down, I go into trance, my mic does not work. That's because I needed to break that, preconditioning that, I'm an Akashic record reader. I can do it. I can connect with higher consciousness easily. But that day it did not, because I had to break one of my belief system there. Okay. So when you come here, you simply need to surrender and say, now tell me, like I said to one of my students in the class, I want to go to Paris. If I sit here, can I go to Paris? No. I need to know, how do I go to Paris? First, I need to know why I have to go to Paris and how do I go to Paris. Then I have to organize my funds. Then I have to, if it's a vacation, I have to plan my holiday booking, hotel or whatever. If I'm looking for a job, I have to first scout for a company. And then, I have to apply for the job. They need to give, once they give it, first and foremost, I need to have a passport. This passport is the moderators who are here, who is helping you go there. So you need a passport in the first place. Without that, you can't do any of the planning. It will not work. So you need a passport. Once all that is done, you need a visa. Visa is the approval, the document that you get from Paris saying, okay, you are allowed to visit here. So when you get that only, then you have your ticket booking done and then only you go. So you can have a ticket, you can have all your plans done. Without passport, you can't go. You have passport, you have a ticket, you've planned everything. Without visa, you can't go. You can't go. It's the same thing when you connect with your higher consciousness. When you connect with your higher consciousness, you need a minimum eligibility of willingness to surrender to your own higher consciousness. If you're not ready to surrender, you are not going to benefit from it. You have to trust that this process is going to help me connect with my higher consciousness. Imagine what a beauty it is when higher consciousness is ready to guide you, tell you this whole. By the time you finish, your intuitive energy, your connection with your soul, your higher consciousness, they become like your entity, whoever you are today. They start guiding you on what is right and what is not right. Okay, so this is what happens at with QHHT. And till here, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Then I will tell you the journey with Jiten sir and the team, and why is it different. Why is it a little more easier, or why is it becomes a little more flexible, because the kind of work he has done. So we'll talk about that later. But right now, if you have any questions, please ask. This is for the people who are looking for the process. Please, who want to learn, we will answer that question later. Yes, Punita.
That when we are doing the deep breathing,
yeah,
then after that we are supposed to visualize a light in between the eyebrows.
Yes.
That is the ajna.
Yeah.
So that time it has Jitin sir has said that you don't visualize any god or anybody.
No.
Then like I am not able to think anything.
It's okay. You can just sit quietly with your focus on your breath.
No, I close my eyes, but yeah. I am like, There is no kind of either some other thoughts are coming or I am just absolutely silent.
It's okay. Absolutely silent is perfectly fine.
Okay, that means during that time you are just supposed to just be still.
Breathe. Breathe. Yeah. See,
Okay.
if I'm here physically present, what is holding me in this place is prana, right? Right? We are breathing prana. The best way to center yourself is like focus the way your breath is going in and coming, going in and coming. The higher consciousness knows what needs to do because you are just sitting there. Your breath, your mind is going wandering. The minute you understand that I'm wandering, just bring it back to your breath. Okay, the light, everything will come based on how you're able to focus. And again, if a thought come, please don't kill yourself. It's perfectly okay. But only thing is you just need to realize, okay, I've just gone off track, I am in a thought process. It's okay, thought, you wait, I'll come back. And you just bring your attention back to your breath and just stay there. And see, if I start focusing on a god or on an object, all my focus is there. Yes, for people who are initially getting into meditation, I usually have a session itself on how to do meditation. But I'm saying when I do that, it needs a lot of work how to bring and center yourself to the specific object that you're seeing. You can meditate on an object. There is nothing, I'm not saying anything is wrong, everything is right, but it is a process of eventually coming to your own inner self, isn't it? It is like, I want to go to Delhi, I can go by train, I can go by plane, I can take my car and drive, I can do anything. So everyone might have a way in which they do, but the ultimate goal is to center yourself. So at whatever point you are able to completely hold yourself in that space, and even for about 5 or 10 or 12 seconds, you go through that complete blank, that is the actual meditative state that you've achieved. You might again, thought might go, but you just need to bring yourself back again into that space. You just need to have that that willingness or that absolute need. Yes, I want to connect with my soul, my inner self. So I'm just going to come back into my breath, because if your breath is not there, you don't exist. So your breath is your best teacher. Watching your breath is your best teacher, because without that, nothing. If you can keep coming back and see the way the air touches your nose and goes, and see till where it is going and then come back, the more you focus on it, you will get your attention to the center of your eyebrows. Okay.
And it is they say that it is for 49 minutes. So
Yes.
is it mandatory that 49 minutes should be completed?
Yes, please sit for 49 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because this is my school is my example that I teach all my students. For a child who holds a pencil for the first time, you will actually teach them only slanting lines, right? Slanting lines, left side, slanting lines, right side, there is a sleeping line to write an A. The child will take a long time to even learn the slanting lines. But the minute he learns how to put it and knows this is A, within few seconds he will write an A, isn't it? So now I am not able to focus and sit for a little while. Now sit 49 minutes needs that physical conditioning to sit in one place. Your one hypnotherapy can take anywhere from 1 hour or 1.5 hour, 2 hour. How will you stay in one place if you don't condition your body to sit in one place? It might be difficult. You can move. All that is there, but I'm just saying. But when you learn to write an A, you will do it like that. So once you get into this process, connecting with your higher consciousness, instead of taking 20 minutes, you might need only 2 minutes or 5 minutes to connect with that energy. So without practice, you cannot be there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Yes.
you, ma'am.
Thank you. Yes. Anybody has any questions?
Dr. V, I have one question.
Yeah.
So, just getting confused, as in, for example, if somebody wants to do an Akashic reading, he or she can just connect today and the reading can be done.
Yeah.
But for QHHT, that person cannot do it like right now or today. It needs those many days of preparation.
Yes. Okay. See, an Akashic record reading, if you want to do, I am here. I'll just close my eyes and whatever comes, comes. Now, how you take it, process it, shift it, and all the stuff is purely on your free will, right? Okay. But whereas when you go on a QHHT session, it is like a permanent helpline attached to it with your higher self. So imagine I have again, I'm just trying to imagine you have you want to um iron. I don't have an iron box, so you are all the time giving it to somebody else and ironing, right? That's because I am not able to, probably I don't have a socket, to put a 3-pin, so I don't have an iron box. Imagine I have a socket, I have an ironing board, everything ready. Whenever I want, I can just iron, right? So it is like taking a ticket for the rest of your life to stay connected with your higher self, to get the guidance. Otherwise, every time you want, you need to find a Akashic reader or a hypnotherapist to say, please tell me how to do this, or, give me a guidance. But when you do this, your higher self starts connecting with you. That is a process. And of course, it depends on how much you master this, stay connected, become conscious, do your meditations, and you will be able to, once you go through clearing all your through the sessions, you will also learn how do you connect, how do you receive the information, what is the messages. So you need that training through the practices or through the sessions. You understand how by the time you finish, you will actually be so equipped to heal your life.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Can I speak?
Thank you.
Yes, Charmaine, tell me.
No, I had one query. What was it that if at all a surrogated person is going to do the healing?
I'll come to it.
Okay.
I'll come to it. Okay. Yes. Anything else? If not, then I will go to the next part to explain what Jitendra sir and team is doing. Yeah. Okay. So the first part, now we'll just keep, I know all of you have done Akashic, all the students, please keep that separately. I'll address it later. Now, what happened is, like, QHHT is given from the academy. All of them are. This is for my students. Okay, this is for my students' knowledge also. So people who want to go into healing, just hold your thoughts for a little while. QHHT who want to learn, want to become a practitioner from here, QHHT is given by academy. A lot of people ask me questions. This is this, they have this level, what happens here? This is what it, I mean, too many questions were posed here. Why is it called QHHT session? Why is it not named differently? So I just want to give an example, like Alma Winman. She also had enrolled to QHHT. In a QHHT actual academy, it's very typical. There is a lot of similarities between hypnotherapy and the QHHT. There, they even do one sessions also, single sessions to multiple sessions based on the client's requirement. The same thing. They also go through the process of connecting you to the higher self, getting the message from higher self, because the practitioners will take you into a trance where they tap into the energies of your higher self to come in and heal, and they go through the session. Now, to see what is different here with Jitendra sir and the team is because I'll give you an example of BQH by Alba Winman. She was with QHHT Academy, and from there she started, tapping into energies to bring in, this is, she calls it the spiritual journey to forgiveness. So through the sessions, she started doing something similar to this, whatever I'm talking about, and she started modifying her ways of doing QHHT. That's why she called it BQHT. And what happened then, she had to disassociate. She came off QHHT Academy because she wanted to patent her thing, and she became independent, and she's doing great work. Now, Jitendra is also from the academy, but with the COVID hit, he has with Mother Dolores in his space, literally, because I know he talks to me and he gets a lot of messages, directions, what to do. With a lot of her guidance, he has modified this QHHT from the academy to here. Modified means not the whole thing, all of it remains. He added a few things on how to do it online. It doesn't matter where a typical QHHT practitioner, he does it more physically within their space where the client is here. He is doing it online where people, doesn't matter from where they are, it can be done online. And the surrogate part of it, what Charmaine asked is like, there is a set of practitioners who is working with him. They're all so aligned with the higher consciousness, the divine consciousness, that it is easy for them to tap into any energies. So if Aishi comes and tells me, I want to do, but I don't know if I can go through the whole process, then I become a surrogate and Jiten sir will be the moderator. Or, there are others in Sir's team, like Shailaja, Rupahi, a few of them are there. They've been doing this work for so long that they're so aligned with that, their higher consciousness, which is again, aligned with the divine consciousness. They can go into your space to access your record. So you become surrogate, but physically it is not me. It is your energies that takes permission. Now, if you want a surrogate also, you have to do the 21 days meditation to give your soul that message that I'm aligning myself with the divine. And I'm ready to give permission for somebody else to enter into my space, go through all of it and bring it. And then that becomes a surrogate session. Like, I will surrogate for Ayushi. Now there are few things, like especially people who are over the age of 50, 55 or 60, if they have health issues, usually it is better not to put them into it, because there will always be some kind of anxiety or whatever. One is they might have health issues, they might have a lot of conditioning which is already there, we don't know, so that is why age factor is one. Second is like, it is a child. Third is like, somebody is really not well, they can't go through the session. So it can be any kind of emergencies where the person can't be present or they can't do it. Then a surrogate person will go through the QHHT session for you. That is called surrogate. Okay, but here, unless it's an emergency, it needs to be done right now. If a person is saying, if they are want to say, I have a long journey, I have a long life of things, so many things to clear, so you have to enroll, you have to go through the meditation, you have to go through, of course there are other things, there is a protection process that happens. And then water alchemy is given, because we all know our body is made of 72% water. And whatever we say even once to ourselves, your water is so flexible. Fluidity of water is what makes everything possible. So you are holding 72% of water in your body, and anything that you think, say, when you see, there is an experience, whatever you feel, your conscious mind means feels, that becomes a belief system, because there's a neurogenesis that happens from your brain cells, the message going to your whole body saying that this is the belief system towards it. So the best example I always say is like, I go to a hotel, I have curd rice, I'm on a travel, I have a curd rice, and it gives me a stomach upset. What happens the next day on the way back? When you go to a hotel, you are immediately thinking you're all right. Next day, you're all right, or whatever. After 2 days, when you're traveling back, even without ordering a curd rice, your whole body, mind, everything is going to an aversion for curd rice because of the experience. So that aversion becomes your mental block. After that, anytime you eat curd rice, even in your own house, it starts upsetting you. So that's called neurogenesis, the belief system you are, imbibing into every cell memory of yours. So to clear your cell memory, there is something called water alchemy. Means you talk to your water, What is it that you want to replace which is existing in my space? So it takes, your cells die every 90 days. So it takes a particular period of time for the new belief system to set in and old one to flush out. So there's something called water alchemy that is being given to you on how you should use water as a toxic remover, whether it is thoughts, feelings, emotions, pains, belief system, value system, which is blocking you. And then you go through these multiple sessions. So end of these multiple session, there will come a point where you feel like, yes, I think I'm perfectly in harmony with me. Whether you are taking it as a healing process, whether you're taking it as a learner who wants to learn to eventually practice. So the practice part of it will take a little time. You have to indulge yourself into this whole process with also that intention, like, yes, I want to go through it, and then extend it to somebody. Okay. So then when you want to actually learn it, then there is a process on how you take this awareness. Today, I'm sitting here and creating this awareness for you. Eventually, you will have to talk to people. You will have to bring them in. You will have to see how you impact or help that person go through this transformation. So to become a practitioner, there is a process of getting involved in bringing other people into awareness and healing them. And there is, there are milestones which you need to go through, by which you will be given that permission. Yes, you can become a practitioner today. So that's what academy does, that you enroll, you go through the process, and they have level 1, level 2, level 3, and each process they are assessing you and all this stuff depending on how you can do or no. The same thing is given to you a little differently in level 2, little differently in level 3, and then you become a practitioner. But a lot of, I've gone through the academy site, a lot of them stay at level 1 itself and they keep practicing. Okay. So that is why that is how it happens here with Jitendra sir. Whatever he is trying to modulate and bring it to everybody who's connecting to it or to the world is one module, but the process needs to be gone through for you to understand, heal, and feel that divine connection, how to be connected. When I spoke to him, I said that only. I said, see, I'm connected to Akashic. I know how to tap into higher consciousness. I know how it is, but I am looking for this whole process to be at a place where I'm so constantly connected that I don't have to call anybody else. What do? I should be able to sit, meditate for 20 minutes, and my higher consciousness come have a conversation, or the higher consciousness gives me all the guidance. And I want to be in a 24/7, 365 days for the rest of my life to be aligned with my higher consciousness. So he was like, yeah, okay. So that is how I am here. Now, you all can, if you have any other question to ask, let me see if I have anything else to present here. Yes, I've already spoken. Okay. I've just depicted this connection a little differently. 1 minute. Okay. In QHHT, this is what happens. Okay. For example, I have a problem. I am looking for somebody who will help me switch on this light. Okay. This is the normal process. They will, give me a solution which can give me an idea. I put a bulb is because it will give you an idea of how to deal with and all the stuff. This is the normal process, the other mediums that we use to get this idea. Now, when you go to QHHT, this medium will become a moderator. Somebody will help you moderate, but connect you here from directly here, which is your light, your own higher self, your energy, your light. And in this space, what Jitendra sir is saying, these higher beings will start being in connection with you. These are all the angels and everything. I don't know if you can see all the higher beings and everybody who's your masters, your guides, who has been, like, we all belong to one school, isn't it? Our soul also belongs to a group in that space. And we have masters and guides and, soul groups, soul families. We are in groups, though we might choose different lifetimes. We all report or we all connect to the same masters for further guidance. Once you connect with your higher self, this is what will happen. These are the ways these guides and masters will come into your space. They will decide to give you directions, guidance, healing, whatever that you need will start coming into this. Okay. I hope this slide gives you an idea of what is going to happen. Let me see anything else I have put. Okay, these are all I've already spoken. Yeah. So now, I was sitting and thinking, how do I show you all? How does this happen? Then I decided to put the switch and bulb and all the angels and masters here so that you will understand what it is. Now, does that answer all your questions, or now you can ask your questions? No?
Hello.
Yes, Vandana.
Now this is regarding the healing, right? The
Yeah.
healing process.
Mm.
You said there has to we have to do 21 days
Meditation.
meditation. Now meditation, suppose meditation is for 20 minutes or 40, 50 minutes,
49,
whatever.
49 minutes. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then like people who we are whole day working, and even if we try in the night and we are not able to, because of the tiredness or something, we are not able to connect, but still we do.
Mm.
Then in that case, how does it work?
See, it works. It's the end of the day, intention is what matters. Okay. Now I need 1 hour. Okay, probably the 1, 2, 3 days you might have to go through it to understand the whole process of how you have to do it. For example, I am on a train. I can't go anywhere. I can't sit for 49 minutes. I can still sit for that 10 minutes and intend that I'm going through all of this process. But now if I say the whole process, I want it in 10 minutes, then yes, see what is the time and dedication you're ready to put into your soul space to go through this journey. Okay, so it's a choice you are making. Okay, I'm ready to do it. See, I'll tell you what, nobody is so busy that they don't have a little time for themselves. It's just that we are scattered in such a manner that we don't organize ourselves. Now you are going on a train journey. Tell me, if you're sitting in a train journey, can't you just put it and at least, focus on your breath?
No, I mean, that is what I wanted to know. Even while traveling, can we do that?
Yeah,
or is
but
it compulsory that
try.
we have to sit in the house?
See, now don't take the easy way out. I'm saying you tell yourself, this is the time I want to dedicate to myself. So you take that few minutes in the morning or whatever and sit. Once you master how to do this meditation, then with the intention, wherever you sit, you can do. There are times I have sat in a train and done I was going to Pandharpur. I did my entire healing and meditation sitting in a train. But I have mastered, nothing else comes into my space. It doesn't bother me. I have my protection. Now you need a protection, so there is a protection meditation also will be given to you. Okay. Yes.
Fine. Yeah.
So you need to plan a little. Nothing comes easy. You really need to put in your time and effort. Only then your higher self also sees like what is the effort that you're putting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I could also put it on a platter and say, okay, Vandana, here, take your higher consciousness, connect, go, live, do what you want to do. It doesn't happen. So some effort definitely needs to be done.
But if it is 45 minutes or 50 minutes, 25 minutes we can do in the morning, 25 minutes can we do in the evening, or it has to be in a stressful?
You do your trial and error for 3 days and let me know how you feel. And then I will probably have to figure out what is your schedule and why is it that this 25 minutes in the evening can happen. Why can't it happen in the morning itself? We can figure that out, isn't it?
Okay, fine.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, each and every one of us are always, including me, is ready to find an excuse. Like, can I find a shortcut? I completely understand. But of course, it could be because of multiple compulsion. It is perfectly okay. So we can figure that out.
Okay. And when do we learn this? How do we?
No, you have the question. The right question should be, when do I go on to this process? Learning comes once you finish your process.
No, that will in healing. If I have to first go for the healing, I want to know.
Once your session starts, healing also happens with every session.
So how do we, like you said, we have to do this meditation?
Yeah,
so
the first 21 days.
So how do we start this?
Yes,
process?
I will tell you that. I'll tell you. Okay.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah.
I've given a form, right? In the group you have submitted, right, Vandana?
No, I'm not submitted.
Yeah, in the group I have sent one of the Google forms of Jitendra sir. fill it, and after that we will connect with all of you. His team is there. We'll connect and then identify how, why, what, and things like that. After that, the entire program will be planned.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. All right,
Thank you.
Vandana. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Madam, can you just explain what is this life review?
What is it?
Life review. You said life review.
Yeah. What happens is, like, you have to now, if you've come to me here, you have come for a purpose, right? Like, when I connected with Jiten sir, he asked me, what is the purpose for being here? I told him, I want to learn, I want to become a practitioner, and I want to learn, and I want to teach. He said teaching is the last part of it. It doesn't come right now. At least for another year or two, the teaching does not come into place, is because you need to first go through the process, heal your own thing. I connected for that, the last one. He said, no, you can't go to the last. You first come to the first. So when I sat with him, and he said, like, the first thing is healing your own self. So I have to look into my life and identify what are the things that I need to shift in my space, what I need to heal, which area of my life has left so much of gray inside this bin. I need to clear that bin. So to identify those, we'll be sitting and having a briefing session on your life journey as to what has happened. We have to earmark all the major things or whatever which needs to be worked on. So in these sessions that you have, the other sessions that will happen, 5 to 7 sessions that will happen. Right now it's 5 sessions, I think. The 5 sessions that you have, in each of these sessions, you will simply not go into a session. There has to be a purpose or a question that you need to ask when you get into these sessions, right? So you ask, from these briefing that you take, you identify things that you need to work on. So each session that will be identified and then work on it. And that is where the healing will happen, because I can't simply go, I want to connect with my higher self. Yes, good, it's a nice feeling, but when I come out, if I've not set a purpose for the session, how do I know what is the shift that has happened? So each session needs to have a set purpose. Okay, for that you need to have a briefing, a session, 1 or 2 sessions, because it is your life journey that we visit to understand what needs to be done in the following follow-up sessions.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes.
If I just could add to
Yes, Shailu.
what
Shailu, 1 minute, I'll introduce. Shailaja
Yeah.
is here. Some of you have seen Shailaja in Jiten sir's sessions, and she's here for anything else, that because she's been practicing it completely into it. So any other questions that needs further clarification, she's here to give you. Thank you, Shailaja, for joining.
Thank you, Vijayji. I mean, you made it utterly clear in every aspect, point to point, crisp and very clear. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And on the question of why life review and what is life review, just to add what you have said, it is because we may not notice that there could be some gray areas in our life, and we have comfortably ignored them,
Right.
which we do not even know. Like, I might have hit somebody, and which I have comfortably told myself that is nothing wrong, because he has done wrong to me and I had done it written. So but that has created a lot of emotional change in your body as well as in your mind, and you might have got used to that for quite some period of time, which you have made it as your daily routine as well, which we do not know. So what happens in life review, such things come out from your own self when you start talking about your own self, from how did it happen from 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30 of your age. Then you yourself start realizing that, oh, I should not have done this, but I had done this. So there need a cleansing there that needs to be healed, and there needs to be a forgiveness there. So all these things which you might have forgotten will come up in the life review, and that would become your element to clear during your own healing session. So that is why life review is very, very important. And just to let you know, guys, I also have come in the quest of understanding the process and learning the process, and in the same way, I mean, as Vijay said, I also came in the same way. And then slowly I understood what literally the meaning of surrender is. because I have also done my different modalities, and then how, to leave my shoes out of the room and come barefoot into the room. That's what really helps. And that's what, a lot of unlearning should happen even before to go through your own session. And that's when the surrender happens. And that's when you start seeing the things very clearly. And that's when your session goes smooth. So such are things that I have literally learned. And that should be your approach to any new modality to that matter. So, and I just want to add one more thing is that there are variety of modalities. Yes, we have seen and we have undergone and we have learned variety of modalities. But the only difference here I have seen is the direct interaction with the divine. So I could in my spiritual healing, I do a lot of healings as well. So when my spiritual healing, I could heal. Okay, but I in my mind, I know the answer, and I am listening to my higher self, and then I am talking. But when the person may get healed 80% or 90% or maybe 70%, why is that 30% not healed? I won't be able to answer. So when you go into the session, it's like you tap into your own soul to see your past life, and then the higher consciousness comes and speaks through you. That's when you are clear that why only 60% happened, why not 40%, and why 100% happened, and what is that beautiful things or spiritual gifts you have carried on. All these things will come up, and that is why this direct interaction with the divine and the divine intervention into your life makes a lot of shifts. So yeah, and that is why Mother Dolores says QHHT is the escalator path of your spiritual growth, because it's an escalator. I mean, you may take step by step, and then go. And there are 10 doors. You may choose any of the doors, but one door that you choose as QHHT, it has got the escalator. So you go through the escalator directly, and that's what I have seen as well. So yeah, that's what I wanted to add to what Vijay said.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Vijay.
Thank you. I had to get to that at some point that I missed. Thank you so much for adding that, because I was also thinking, you said an escalator. I was thinking in my mind a rocket.
It is in fact the rocket way.
It is a rocket.
You just zoom.
Zoom, yeah, it's a rocket. For me, it's a rocket. But yes, people who take it, the thing is, like, on this journey, really the enemies are logical mind, because whatever has touched our senses, present or past lifetimes, we hold it as our guiding post. Should I not? I have a lot of people asking so many questions. And earlier I used to like, why they're not understanding, but now I know where they come from. And I tell them very patiently, okay, this is fine. Sometimes I don't react, I just smile. They think something is wrong with me because I'm not saying anything. But the day they say, instead of having 100 guideposts in my hand, let me just leave this here and just step into this space to just see what it is. Unless that happens, believe me, whatever you experience, this filter system will come in otherwise.
Yes,
You have
there
to
is a lot
just
of
be there.
intervention.
Yeah, you have to just sit there and enjoy. Wow, this felt good. The minute you celebrate that, your connection starts becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. Then the divine beings also understand, okay, here is a door which does not have a door. Let's enter. And they will be with you. And honestly, for me, on a day-to-day basis, everything is like communicated. This will not happen, this will happen, watch this, this is going to fall. Every single thing that I want to do, there is a message that keeps, and I'm like saying,
Yes.
thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going on saying thank you all the time, because everything that happens, there is an the day before yesterday, my son just stepped out of the house, and I was doing something, and suddenly, I don't know, he just came into my mind. I just said, I hope he is okay. I just finished saying that, and there was a dog in the building. I think he was standing next. He just lifted his hand to pet or whatever. It just bit. Luckily, it's a very ferocious dog. What happened was only one small toe scratch happened. And the next minute, he's standing in front of me saying, Amma, my finger. So that message also comes so fast. Just not that, anything that you want to do, there is that message continuously flowing. This is okay. This is not okay. When Jiten sir's message came to me, at that time I was too occupied. Then finally, this word kept popping in. Then I suddenly realized, okay, this is coming. I'm not connecting with him. That's why it's going on popping in my head. Then I sent him a message. I said, can we connect? The minute we connected, I understood what was the divine's purpose of giving me this QHHT word or Jiten's content through somebody. And it happened instantly. So that guidance is what I'm talking about. But if you nullify that guidance with your logical mind, then you will not see it as a guidance. So that is why it's so important that you have to keep this bin outside and say, I'm ready to dive into this space because I want to. Another word in Akashic that I say to my students is compress my lifetimes. Instead of learning all the lessons, I have so many people who says, no, I need a proof only, then I can believe. So if this is what you're going to do, this one lifetime, no, maybe another 100 lifetimes, you need to learn all the lessons by doing mistakes. Here, it will show you this is not okay. Take it and implement it so that you can compress. Every realization is one lifetime less.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you can actually compress so many lifetimes of yours. And then you can also, foresee your future and make a better plan for your future lifetimes as well. That would also happen. And, as you said, Vijayji, the continuous guidance keeps flowing in soon after your first session. Because there is a permanent connect that is being created, the antenna that is corrected, and your frequency is aligned into the space of the higher self, and then you have the continuous connect, and that is permanent for the rest of your life. And the messages keeps on flowing, and they would become clearer and clearer and clearer as you go through your session after the session. And then one such message I have got soon after my first session is because I was thinking so much that maybe I have told this because I have this knowledge, so maybe I have told this. But then that message had come exactly at the point when I was cooking, because when I was cooking, I was not thinking anything. That is when, all of a sudden, if something pops up, that is your higher self.
Yeah.
So that popped it. Get used to not knowingness. Get used to nothingness. So I wrote literally what all the messages that have come, I wrote in a book. And then in the second session or third session, when I became the first surrogate, I was given all the Kundalini issues. I don't know what to talk about them because I have experienced it myself to some extent. I can explain it to others, but I don't know how to heal it altogether because it's a complicated subject. That's when Mother Parvati has come and she has done it. And there were 4 cases which had come and all of them were cured. And I got to know after 2 months of doing my first session. I didn't even follow up because the trust that it would happen, the faith that it would happen had made it already happen.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to follow up on them. And then they came back saying, thank you. That's when I understood, oh, so this is not knowingness because all my knowledge is exhausted then. Then I don't have anything.
Yes. Very important.
So that is the getting used to nothingness and getting used to not knowingness is what I literally felt and experienced.
Yes. Yeah, it's always like that, There's another example I give for my students. If a child, I usually take them back to school. So if a child, a parent says, you know what, this is apple. And if you say this is apple and you keep that memory, if somebody else shows you another apple which is of a golden color, you will not believe that there is an apple in gold color, right? So I first need to also know this could be the apple that I have seen, but there can be multiple other apples, multiple other colors, multiple other flavors, and I need to explore it by keeping my apple aside. You understand? I should not compare it with my apple. I have to take this as an exclusive one. Eat it and say, oh, this is so beautiful. Eat another one and say, oh, this is so beautiful. Somewhere you have to leave that comparison of an apple which you have put it in your space. Unless you do that, you will not be able to enjoy anything else. That's why today, if you see a lot of people, they sit on a eating table, they like only what they like. They criticize whatever is on the other's plate. Why? It's because they don't have an openness to taste it and say, hey, it's nice. Maybe you like it, keep it. They're not open. So that kind of an openness should come, like, I'm ready to receive everything unconditionally, hold it in my space. That is when the transformation starts happening. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on the meditation part, I think somebody had asked a
Vandana.
question like, yeah, Vandanaji. So is it like only 49 minutes? Why can we do it 50-50? That is all fine, but do it twice. 49 and 49 instead. That makes a better connection to you.
Yeah.
But what is said is, for it be it any meditation, here, what is more important is the intention. So the intention to connect to the higher self will already start bringing the connection during your daytime. And that's what you see the shift and the transformation in your questions also in the first 21 days. So what happens is you might have 20 to 25 questions, but by the end of your 21st day, all of them might have got cleared with your own knowledge. Only you would be left with 3 or 4 you don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe the questions formation might change. Maybe you will ask more intellectual questions that would help your soul.
Absolutely.
Right. So all these things would happen. And that is why invest time for your own self and set one time, one space, all the time for your own meditation, because it creates a bubble of energy all the time. And that antenna will be there in that place. So you choose yourself, either morning or evening. Okay. I will say avoid while traveling, because that connect would be very intense.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is, like, once you've mastered it, then you
once
really
you
don't
mastered
need to.
it, that's fine.
It is with you all the time.
All
It's
the
not
time.
like,
Yeah,
it's all the
meditation.
time.
Yeah.
It's like a beacon of light. Your higher connection light is like that beacon. I say that spotlight on an opera theater. I say,
Correct.
wherever you go, this light will go. But I need to first focus it on myself and bring
Yes,
it
get
into
it
a space.
connected. Yes. And usually either meditation or yoga that happens off the mat, that do not happen on the mat. You set the intent there, and that flows throughout your day.
Yes.
And that's why we do this portion, or preparing yourself.
Yeah. But focusing on breath, believe me, you can do 24/7. It will do wonders. Okay, because at the end of the day, you are surrendering to your own prana. No, my existence is because of this. So you can surrender to your breathing anytime. I'm telling you, your brain fog clears, your confusion clears without your own knowledge. Even if QHHT is not there, even without anything, the minute you start focusing, your brain fog clears. You will see clarity in your space. You will see magic in your space. When a breath can do it, imagine you can take that 45 and 49 minutes to sit in one place and do it. See what you can do to your life, isn't it? Yes. So can I invite Sundar sir to speak a few words, because he has taken this journey?
I'll just close with one sentence, and then you can give over. So all we want to tell, either Vijiji or I, all we want to tell is the divine is just a thought away. They are not sitting somewhere, and they are not like a higher entities. You treat them separate like godlike figures. Nothing like that. They are just a thought away. They are the energy that is around us. You invite them, they are here. That's it. So, but to understand that, to feel that, connect, and to feel what they are saying, this trance state is must.
Yes.
So understand, divine is just a thought away, and it is quite possible. Don't treat them in photos. Make them your companions.
Yeah, I've told this to everyone, because you put it in a photo frame, you think God is there on the stand. That is where I need to reach.
Yeah, and they have to come in that attire, unless we don't believe.
Yeah. No, they are all light beings. See, when I go to Akashic space, there are multiple masters for a person. Okay. So when I close, I can sense there are 4 or 5 of them. And all of them are actually a slightly longer light energy that I see. And I can sense that this is Jesus, or this is Buddha's energy or whatever. I can sense, I can feel, I can, very
Yes,
clearly see
that
it.
is
But
very
I don't
telepathic.
have a form. They don't have a form. The form is for the humans. In that
Yes,
space, there is absolutely no form. It's just pure energy, but they are beings who was here, who lived through this transition and they've gone. So they have a name and a form when they lived here. That's it. But that doesn't mean we have to fight about religion, different god forms and all. No. They
that
all
is
come
not
here to
needed. Yeah.
teach this lesson only to us. But we have just got into boundaries and we have so many mental. The day you break that, you will see
Yeah.
that light inside you. Forget a thought away. They are inside you. I just need to connect.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So this is just,
And
yeah.
and when you meditate, if you start seeing when you confine yourself to your favorite
forms.
god or anything, it is like you're creating a boundary.
Yes.
Okay, when you focus only on your breath, there is no boundary.
Yeah.
Whoever is of your need would help you. So, keep that options open.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Vijiji. You may,
Thank you.
Miss
Yeah.
Sundarji can
Yes.
talk now. I'll go
Yes.
on mute.
Yes,
Thank you,
Sundar
everyone.
sir.
Please.
Tell me, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah.
First, let me give an introduction about myself. I am Sundar, and I am a retired senior banker, and I'm also an advocate. I live in Mumbai, but currently I'm speaking to you from Singapore, my son's place. My son and daughter both learned Akashic records from Dr. Vijay and also the Tarot Akashic.
Tarot.
And I have learned 5 levels of clinical hypnotherapy from California Institute of Hypnotherapy in India.
Okay.
And I've also learned Akashic records, then chakra healing, aura healing, and all that. And I am an expert in taking people to the past life. So I've done a lot of past life regressions, and I myself have seen more than 30 of my past lives. And whenever I get into any problem, I see either the Akashic record or with the help of somebody, I see my past life. And I've been finding a lot of solutions with that. Recently, I had some health issues, and Dr. Vijay healed me very nicely, and I'm fine now. I can now walk 10 kilometers.
Divine.
Yeah, so it was very nice. Now, actually, Dr. Vijay introduced me to QHT, and Dr. Jitendra sir has been in touch with me, and I have completed 27 days of meditation today. On the 13th day of the meditation, when I was in deep meditation, I felt as if somebody is putting their finger on my head, on the hair. I was feeling some touch on my hair, and my body was vibrating. And then they said, you are being connected, beginning to connect your higher self. So that was the message I got. And today being the 27th day, I got a message that you will shortly hear the Om sound with a vibration. So that was also quite, actually initially when I started 49 minutes, I used to think when this 49 minutes will end.
Yeah.
But now things have changed. So when I start meditating, I feel why this time has come 49 minutes. Why should I not sit for more time? So it is really giving I feel a lot of change in my health itself. I feel that the energy is more, vibrations are more, messages are coming now. So actually, Jitendra sir told me that you might have done Akashic, you might have done hypnotherapy, all these things, but this is completely different, and you will experience it once you go into the session.
Yes.
So next week, he has told me that he will give me the first session.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it, and I find it very nice. And thank Dr. Vijay and Jitendra sir and his team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was a nice thing to come and, talk about, because at least people will know how it's different. Because a lot of my students have been debating with me hypnotherapy. How is it different from hypnotherapy? You've been a hypnotherapist and you've been in this space for so long. For you to come and say this, it's really, thank you. It's an honor actually to have you here, so that you can share the difference, your journey, how it has been different. When we do clinical hypnotherapy, we are doing a lot of theory, learning, reading, understanding, practicing, implementing it. This connection was not done because I know the whole process, because I also wanted to do it. I've understood it. That's why I went and enrolled myself for the hypnotherapy part of it. And I know the difference. Sitting in the Akashic space, I know how different it is. I have seen, all those people who have gone through sessions or whatever, I've experienced it with my own conscious mind. That connection or understanding or getting to see. I've seen some of the most craziest things. I've gone back to 13,000-14,000 years ago, what has happened. I've seen all of it. But not everybody can be here to do it for somebody else, isn't it? At least you all can do it for your own self. So this is the best way of getting to that space where tomorrow, you never know, you walking, talking Akashic reading you will do for other people, isn't it? But that work on self is very important. For that, like I said, I need to first clear my garbage. To clear that garbage, none of us ever think something is wrong with me. We always think I'm very perfect. I want to do everything else for everybody else. But no, it's important that I need to be in that space. Now tell me, if Jesus Christ was there, okay, and he says, I'm here to heal you, but he still holds a lot of crap in his space. Do you think you're going to accept him? No, we accept him today. We know because, Krishna or Jesus or Buddha, they have all been divine being, unconditional, pure. That's why we worship them. But how do we get there? For that, I first need to accept that I need to work on myself. That is the most important thing. Okay. So this is a process. So I hope whoever wants to, again, I said people can come just for their healing. Once they feel healed, then the next direction will come for them automatically in terms of what to do next with that. So first, go through the whole process, enjoy the journey first. Okay. All right. Any other questions? If not, I can let you all go. It's a Sunday, and thank you all for being here. Yes. Yes, Punita.
That sometimes I have started, but sometimes I am having so much of pain and I'm having so much of drowsiness and everything. It is difficult for me to even. It is like, it is not that my intent is not to do,
No.
but I'm finding it difficult to concentrate.
No, it's
So
okay.
when the
Don't do anything.
sessions will start, how will I do it?
No, we will see. You speak. You ask Jatin sir. Will I be able to do it, or I will
I
go through
think,
the healing? Someone will do
yeah,
surrogate for you.
yeah.
That's
I think the plan for Punita ji is
is to
to,
do surrogate.
start as a surrogate, because I know she will not be able
Yeah.
to handle it herself.
That's what I also spoke with the.
Yeah. So,
See,
Punita ji will talk offline, because your live
Yeah.
review is also pending.
Yeah.
We'll talk offline.
Punita ji, I know you and I know what you hold in your space. So you need a lot of healing before, understanding if you can be physically a part of it. So let that healing first happen so that you will be able to go through it, feel the shift, heal yourself. And then is when your further journey goes on. Okay. Okay, Punita? Yes. Yes, Ayushi.
Ma'am, it will be one-to-one session or
It'll be one-to-one session.
okay. And okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank
this
you.
session.
Thank you. Thank you, Sapna. Thank you, Renuka. Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you, Anuradha. Anybody else has any questions? Otherwise, I can let you all go. Okay, you can write in the group. Group is there. And of course, every Saturday, there is a talk show that Jitendra ji has organized. Those are all how you bring in your practical life in alignment with the conscious space. Now, I might listen to a spiritual talk. I might go through a training program, but somehow we have the lack of bringing these awareness into our practical life and implement it to go through a shift where you engage your conscious mind to become aware of what's happening within your own space. So Madhuri ji is there. Her talks are very good, and she brings actually big volume into small pockets and giving you, so that every thought, feeling, emotion, action. How do you consciously become aware of whatever you are doing? So she's giving you a tool to understand that process. So please attend every Saturdays. It is for free, so that, because those training programs, see, I've been a corporate trainer. I know when we do one module of personality development, and we have 5 sessions, and we'll have probably a classroom session of personality development training that we used to give, and there will be about 10 or 15 or 20 people. We give it and we come back. They have to monitor themselves and come back and say, this is the shift I have done. If some of them have not done the shift, it is not the trainer's problem, because the trainer has put the same module up there and giving it to people, saying these are the tools that you can put as your check post and start doing it. So that guidance is happening every Saturday. So that is the link that I'm forwarding. So please attend it, at least for the sake of listening, because eventually all that will come into your space. Tomorrow you will have to give guidance to somebody. It can't be like you meditate, do QHHT. You will have to give a lot of guidance to other people if you all want to help somebody else get better. So please attend. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anything else? Thank you so much for all your confidence and being here to attend this session. And thanks to the divine, gratitude. Yes.
Thank
Hi,
you.
ma'am.
Yes, Anuradha. Anu.
I want to ask what will be the charges for the session, which we like only for the healing part, like if I want to go through the whole process.
Surrogate. I mean, the whole process. No surrogate. You all are healers. You all should take your whole journey. It's 40,000 rupees.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Anybody else has anything else? Okay. So thank you. Have an awesome Sunday afternoon. I will forward the recording link again, so you all can